I think as a kid, prayer almost felt like one of those things that you do. It just was part of the program. It was, yeah, you go to church on Sunday morning. Yeah, you pray at mealtime, you pray at bedtime, you pray in church, you pray as part of Sunday school. Prayer to me was really standardized and rushed. I didn't think about it as a dialogue. I didn't think about it as open communication. It was what you do before you go to bed. It was what you do before a meal.
I grew up actually in a Lutheran home. We prayed as a family, but we didn't pray spontaneous prayers. We prayed memorized prayers. And so we said, "Come Lord Jesus," at supper time, and we said, "Now I lay me down to sleep," at bedtime. And I think my parents prayed for me outside of that time, but we didn't do a lot of spontaneous prayers. My mom talks about how saying the same prayer over and over again in the liturgical side of the Lutheran church is comforting for her and deepens her relationship with God. And I think for me, I started like counting syllables in the prayer or something. Scott and I started going to an evangelical free church before we were married, and there was more spontaneous prayer, and that was really refreshing to me.
As I've become a father, I've really been thinking more about my relationship with God the Father and the type of communication I want to have with my kids, that I am thinking about that as I reflect on prayer. If you're going to have a relationship with somebody, if I'm going to have a relationship with my kids or my dad, we need to be in communication. And my dad needs to know what's going on in my life, and my dad needs to know what I'm struggling with, and my dad needs to know what I'm thankful for. And my dad needs to know everything that we're dealing with or that decisions we're wrestling with. And so that's how I think about prayer now, and I think that's the purpose of prayer, is to communicate, to open that line of communication with our Father. And it's just really interesting for me to connect it to the relationship that I want with my kids, and I want my kids to have with me. I don't think about prayer as having a beginning and an end almost. It just is a part of our life as a family and a part of my life as well.